Day 1 of the 2023 Paris Air Show has come and gone, and as we rapidly approach the commencement of Day 2, I thought I'd take a look at what happened during the first day. There were 3 videos, so if you're interested in learning more about specifically aircraft orders, you can go back and check those out. But the reality is, that wasn't all that happened, with lots of other interesting stories to take a look at. I'll be exploring some of the topics that didn't get their own video first before covering the orders a little bit later. We begin with Riyadh Air. Now, they're definitely an airline that has emerged in headlines in recent months as they have ambitious launch targets to meet by 2025. The upcoming Saudi Arabian-based airline said that they will not order any narrow-body aircraft at this year's 2023 air show, following a lot of speculation that they are close to a commitment for new aircraft. Riyadh Air very generally plans to launch from 2025 out of Riyadh and has ambitious plans for its network and also fleet. Committing to the 787 series, this plane will power its long-haul fleet. However, it's now chasing a narrow-body plane, with the 737 MAX being pitted against the A321neo, but the first option, the MAX, being highly rumoured to be the leading choice thanks to deals and relationships with Boeing as well as delivery slots available. As the 2023 Paris Air Show is now taking place, it's typically a period where airlines will seek to announce commitments as all eyes are on the industry, and it can be for some great publicity. Riyadh Air definitely have been in headlines in recent months. They've already outright said that they are the largest startup in recent history and are very excited about the prospects of launching. Them as an airline have made headlines right around the globe and have had a pretty big place on the channel in recent weeks too, as we saw their first livery and much more. 150 narrow-body planes are being targeted initially by the company. However, plans don't just stop there. They're currently still assessing proposals from Airbus and Boeing for more jets on top of that. So when I say that they have an ambitious future, you can definitely already tell from just how many commitments they have and will look to have for new aircraft before they even launch. Riyadh Air, as mentioned, is at the air show showcasing a Boeing 787 that sports the first edition of their livery in preparation for launch. And the airline is, very generally speaking, Saudi Arabia's answer to growing the economy, tourism, and much more. Tony Douglas leads up the airline. If you recall that name, a bonus cookie point for you, he was formerly at Etihad Airways before making the switch to the startup. Viva Aerobus are reportedly also close, per reports. Viva Aerobus are, according to Reuters, very close to a massive deal with Airbus for narrow-body planes. Now, when I say massive, I think the definition has changed quite drastically in the past few years, and this was highlighted through some executives at other aviation companies during the air show who said that once upon a time, big orders consisted of 20 to 30 units, and now we're seeing them in the triple digits pretty consistently as well. So Viva Aerobus will buy a triple-digit order for Airbus A320neo family aircraft to complement their existing fleet and enhance future growth plans. If you're curious, Viva Aerobus flies 68 aircraft, which is spread across all A320 family members. 21 A320-200s remain in service, and you can pair that with 18 A320neos. The carrier also flies the A321ceo and A321neo, where the latter, there are 20 in active service. So what that actually means is Viva Aerobus is a perfect example of an operator that is transitioning to newer equipment, but is still sticking with the same manufacturer, and has the ceo and the neo in operations. Pretty satisfying if I do say so myself. The A320neo and A321neo therefore are expected to really make up the backbone of their future fleet for many decades to come, and as such, a new commitment would actually just accelerate growth plans outlined by the company. What are your thoughts on a potential 3-digit deal for Viva Aerobus and the ramifications that would have? Moving along, Boeing has unveiled their commercial market outlook forecast for the next 20 years, where they predict the requirement for 42,600 new planes. These aircraft will match the rapid growth pace of the industry, paired with the need for replacements at various different airlines and very generally carriers' goals to develop their fleets. 42,600 aircraft at list price value would be valued at over US $8 billion and is part of Boeing's latest commercial outlook for this year in the run-up to the airshow. Boeing says there'll be a 3.5% growth to the global fleet per year, with the fleet doubling to 48,600 jets by the 2042 mark as well. Boeing further notes, the Asia-Pacific market will represent 40% of global demand, and 20% of this staggeringly comes from China alone. This important market is one that Boeing has been trying to get their teeth into, but has struggled in recent years for a host of reasons. South Asia should also see an expansion of more than 7% per year, which does mean that that region will be the fastest growing that they predict at least. As part of the deeper forecast, Boeing says that, as you would expect, single-aisle planes will bring up the bulk of almost 43,000 jets in the global fleet, with 75% of all new deliveries in the next 20 years accounting for, you guessed it, these single-aisle planes, like your 737 MAXs, 320neos, and much more. Wide-bodies will comprise of 20% of total deliveries, containing a calculated 7,400. These will play a decisive role in replacing aircraft, growing fleets, and very generally helping airlines that need the addition of a wide-body become more efficient when flying long haul. 1,810 regional jets are also forecasted to be required, with 920 freighter planes on top of that. The total comes in at 42,595, but has been rounded up to 42,600 for those purposes of just looking a little bit better. As always, I should mention that this is a forecast. That means the guidance can change and the figures too. This guidance is set to be updated by Boeing. We get a new update every year or so don't take it for granted, but what it does do is provide us a good indication of where Boeing believes the industry will be at for the next 20 years. Normally I'd ask you what type of orders would you like to see, but considering Boeing is forecasting the need for 42,600 planes, I think I may have given you a challenge that maybe is more than you can chew. That being said, let's move on to our final new topic for today, and this is just going to be a little bit of a snippet because I want to cover this more extensively on the YouTube channel in the coming week, but Leham News reports that Emirates will take on a 777-9 in 2024 for a couple of months. Why, you may ask, considering the plane will not be certified to carry passengers at this point? Well, it's for some route-proving flights across its network from Dubai, which is a massive advantage for the airline. As we know, Emirates has commitments for 115 of the type. As such, the 777X will be hugely important for their long-term fleet. And the addition in 2025 will now be boosted by the ability for them to better understand the plane's capabilities before it does officially enter into service. It'll be interesting in 2024 to see how they utilize this aircraft for a couple of months to better learn what it is capable of. Now, as you may recall as well, there were orders from Indigo for 500 Airbus aircraft, the largest commercial aviation deal in history. We saw FlyNAS order 30 more of the A320neos, and Air Mauritius committed to the A350 with 3 more additional units. Day 1 certainly belonged to Airbus, but stay tuned as Day 2 rapidly approaches. You can expect all the latest rolling coverage of this year's 2023 Paris Air Show right here on the channel, website, and other social media platforms. Take care and be safe, thank you for your support, and I'll see you next time.